When I think of Africa, I think of the majestic colors that create my vision of Africa and all of its natural beauty. I think of the golden sun warming the soft matted soil, the sunset sinking below the horizon, surrounded by the vermilion and corn silk sky and billowing clouds. I think of the fragrant spices of Africa, the curled earthy brown cinnamon. I taste the heat of Africa in the fiery oranges, the blended ambers, and the rosy persimmon. Flavors awakening in cumin and peppercorns, popping like rhythmic hands drumming. I think of the graceful trees stretching their ominous limbs towards the ribbon skies. I think of my childhood fantasy of Africa, influenced by the cinematic beauty in The Lion King. A vision of Africa with Rafiki pridefully holding Simba on the edge of Pride Rock. But now my vision is clouded by death and disease. A virus that leaves children orphaned, closes schools, fractures communities, and tests humanity. The darkness of death and disease traps liquid darkness in my dreamlike vision. Africa has experienced many devastating diseases. Its resilience is empowering, but at this moment, Ebola is the evil monster that has robbed the lives of more than 7,000 people. Ebola is creating a fracture, resulting in cultural rituals being abolished, restricting spiritual practice, and leaving many mourning the loss of their loved ones in isolation. Ebola has not only been an evil monster to Africans, but it has also brought death upon doctors and healthcare workers, the angels in this viral war who are working with tireless dedication to help stop the spread of Ebola. It is time for all of us to be called into action, and not just rely on those courageous souls with medical degrees or the selfless and dedicated aid workers.
Before you were born, I knew you. Before you were formed, I loved you. Before you sinned, I forgave you. Before you could hear me, I called you. I called you my own. Before you fell, I caught you. Before you doubted, I told you the truth. Before you left, I welcomed you back. Before you were lost, I made you a way to come home.
We must all support our brothers and sisters through advocacy, education, and rising to the task. By making a donation of any size, we can begin to make a difference in this mass destruction. As a part of creating something out of destruction, I plan to start an organization that builds a personal connection beyond the headlines of disease and humanitarian crisis. I will call this organization Project Zero. Through Project Zero, donations can purchase a box of masks or gloves, body bags, chlorine tablets, or personal protective garments. You can decide for yourself what level of support you would like to contribute based on the donation you are generously willing to make. People who donate will receive a red string. By tying this red strand on your wrist, you will represent being a part of a bigger promise, a promise to end the destruction that Ebola has created. Tie a knot to educate, tie a knot to advocate, and tie a knot to donate to this global issue. These knots will remind you that you can make a difference. Let's bring an end to this viral destruction. Let's take this destruction and turn it into something filled with hope and promise. And speaking of viral, all these initiatives will be supported by social media, endorsements by celebrities, and others who can motivate the public. My goal is to create something out of destruction. Project Zero, turning patient zero into zero patients.
Before you sinned, I forgave you. Before you could hear me, I called you. I called you my own.